Good afternoon, everyone. Today, I want to talk to you about one of the most important concepts in economics, gains from trade. Put simply, gains from trade refer to the benefits that people can achieve by engaging in trade with one another. In other words, trade is not a zero-sum game where one person's gain is another's loss. Rather, it is a positive-sum game where both parties can benefit from one trade. Let's start with a simple example. Imagine you are a farmer who produces both wheat and corn. Let's say you're limited in either producing 100 bushels of wheat or 50 bushels of corn. You have a neighbor, on the other hand, who can produce either 100 bushels of corn or 50 bushels of wheat. If you each produce only what you are best at, you can trade with one another and end up with more of both goods. As an example, if you specialize in wheat and your neighbor specializes in corn, you can trade 50 bushels of wheat for 50 bushels of corn with your neighbor. This way, both of you end up with 50 bushels of wheat and 50 bushels of corn instead of just 100 units of one good. This example shows how trade can lead to gains for both parties involved. By specializing in what they are best at and trading with others, people can increase their overall welfare and standard of living. Now, let's look at a more recent and real example of gains from trade. The Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, or RCEP for short, entered into the force on the 1st of January 2022. It's a trade agreement signed by 15 countries in the Asia-Pacific region, including China, Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand. The agreement aims to reduce tariffs and other trade barriers, promoting economic integration and growth in the region. One example of a gain from trade under the RCEP is the increased access to markets for exporters. For instance, Australian wine producers like the Australian Grape and Wine Association have reported an increase in demand for their products since the RCEP agreement was signed. Quote, "Our businesses now export more than 60% of production to a value of almost $3 billion per annum, and the RCEP markets represent around half of that total value." The RCEP provides significant benefits to the Australian wine industry, including tariff reductions and improved market access to key trading partners such as China and Japan. This increased access to markets has allowed Australian wine producers to expand their businesses, increase their profits, leading to economic growth and job creation in the industry. Furthermore, the consumers in the RCEP countries have access to a wider variety of high-quality imported wine products at a more affordable price due to reduced tariffs. The RCEP is an example of a trade agreement that has led to gains from trade for the participating countries. By reducing trade barriers and promoting economic integration, the RCEP has allowed businesses to expand their markets and increase their profits, while also providing consumers with access to a wider range of goods at lower prices. In conclusion, gains from trade is a fundamental concept in economics, and are key to improving people's standard of living. Whether it's a simple example like our farmer and his neighbor, or a more complex example like the RCEP, trade can lead to benefits for all parties involved. Thank you for your time.